Hi, students. So it's the middle of week 4, and most of you should be starting to watch the chapter 6 videos. And it was brought to my attention that the pizza place example was left out of the video. And what's funny, I've used these recorded videos for the past like 3 semesters. Y'all are the first ones to bring this to my attention. So thank you for that. So I'm going to make this very quick and want to explain the pizza place example. So when I was a graduate student at UNCC, there was this pizza place that was opening. And the story that I heard was that this pizza place put a lot of time and effort and money into their grand opening, did a lot of advertising, flyers were everywhere. I think they even had a bulletin or billboards on the side of buses. I mean, it was crazy. And what I heard was that they put so much time and effort into this that they actually forgot to finish painting the interior of the restaurant. So the night before the grand opening, they're, busting their tails trying to paint the restaurant. There's a funny thing that happens to some people, not all people, but some people, when they are exposed to paint fumes or a very strong smell of paint, it makes them sick. Now, again, doesn't impact all people like this. I'm sure there's some people who walk in and start inhaling deeply because, they want to get high or whatever. But some people naturally get sick. Notice how I paused and said a particular word very slowly. If we were in the classroom right now, what I typically do is I put the classical conditioning equation on the board. I tell the story I just told you, and I stop there and say, okay, see if you can fill out the entire equation just based on what I told you. And I'll give you the key phrase again. Some people naturally get sick in response to paint fumes. So if you would like to try to do this on your own to see if you're getting it, go ahead and pause the video. Otherwise, I will pause for a moment and then I will explain how this is done. Okay, so if you're still with me, if you are familiar with the classical conditioning equation, on the top line, you have the unconditioned stimulus and unconditioned response. And that's where that key phrase I gave you comes in. Your unconditioned stimulus is paint fumes. And the response to those paint fumes is sick or getting sick or feeling sick. Those happen naturally without having been through an experience, without having to be trained to. So it's unconditioned stimulus, unconditioned response. Your second line, you repeat those two terms for the unconditioned stimulus and unconditioned response. But on the far left, you have the neutral stimulus, something that never before was associated with paint fumes and getting sick. Now, this is something I didn't spell out for people, but if you think about the scenario, where are they? Okay, there's actually 2 potential answers that you could put for the neutral stimulus. The one that I always think of is pizza. Now, they go there to get pizza, they get sick, and unfortunately, they learn to associate getting sick with eating pizza. So your neutral stimulus could be pizza. Some people see it a little bit differently. They think of it as the actual location, the pizza place. Every time they see that, oh my gosh, I'm not going back there because I just got so sick. So either of those could fit as your neutral stimulus. Now let's look at the very bottom, the third line of the equation, conditioned stimulus and conditioned response. And if you recall from the first video where I showed you kind of the cheat sheet of how things go, the final resulting issue or the final resulting behavior is some people, when they see pizza after this experience, it makes them sick. Conditioned stimulus, conditioned response. So if they use the pizza place, when they see the pizza place, it makes them sick. So there's the entire equation filled out. I hope it makes sense. Um, if you did try it on your own, I'd love to hear from you in a text as to whether or not you could get it. And it's fine if you don't. But if you do get it, it's kind of a sign that you're really starting to understand this whole process of learning to associate something with something it was never associated with before. So I hope this helps.